It's an immutable fact of human existence. The sun rises in the east, geese fly south in winter, shrill Mexican children will always be drawn to Xbox Live like a mosquito to a fat chick's ankle, and Star Citizen is still fucking fucked. I mean, be honest. You'll miss it when it's finally canceled. Releases! And as much as I reflexively wince at each intestinal twinge of the prolonged Kickstarter colonoscopy in question, isn't it feeling just the faintest bit homey to you? Sure, I'm shitting bricks at the prospect of yet another penile pummeling, but I must admit, I'm kind of gonna miss it when it's gone. It's like Stockholm sodomy. And regular as rainwater, the Star Citizen saga revolved anew. For instance, you may have heard of a little letter Robbo bounced on out to the backers this last week. Backers, that is, including yours truly, as once upon a delusion, I myself was a Star Citizen backer. What should have been the headline here was the formal publishing of a public fucking roadmap to the development of the single-player Squadron 42 campaign, the alpha for which CIG now speculates will emerge in 2020. After Blade Runner is real life. I'd hasten to remind you all the original release date? Holiday 2016.
But wait! There's more!
When you get it in your hands, the first episode next year, right, Aaron?
That's right, next year.
This would not only place the alpha release for just the single-player mode of Star Citizen at over 8 years distant from the original Kickstarter announcement in 2012, but who the fallopian fuck knows where that leaves Star Citizen itself? Is there even any mathematical way it could be ready for prime time within the decade in which it was originally conceived? I look forward to finally picking up my copy of Star Citizen in an actual fucking spaceship, and all of that would have been a staggering development, grabbing headlines the world over, if it weren't for what happened next. Star Citizen, the game Chris and company swore up, down, left, and sideways, wasn't financially strapped in any form or fashion, with the recent revelation of a bank loan with the UK putting up in-game assets as collateral being dismissively dispelled as the maddened gibberings of a helium-huffing Derek Smart, just secured secondary financing from two rich fuckheads. You know, sorta kinda like the exact thing Chris Roberts was aiming to avoid by supplicating the public on Kickstarter to begin with. Basically, they've got a publisher in everything but name now. And why not? Just look at the state of this masterpiece.
I've got a problem here.
Eject!
I can hold it.
Pull on!
No, I'm all right.
Build bridges, not walls!
200 million well spent. And did I miss a fucking meeting, folks? Are you allowed to skate past nothing is wrong, go back to sleep, everything's fine, right to we secured alternate funding and are delaying the game to 2020? Without once admitting you fucked up in the interim? And all of this, of course, was sold with the original video pitch, an arresting bit of video game marketing extolling the virtues of the long-dead space sim genre and the merits of the PC exclusive, as he uses a console controller, from last fucking gen, mind you, to play a version of the game we'll never actually fucking see. You know, I've seen folks claim Chris Roberts is a master manipulator, a Jonestownian cult leader inciting his frothing followers to swill the proverbial flavor aid as they're utterly steeped in stupidity, but that's a false assertion, and the sooner you abandon the narrative, the sooner you'll snap some of these saps out of it, because Chris Roberts isn't taking advantage of people's stupidity, he's taking advantage of their common sense. Any human being with common sense hears someone pitch a game, controller in hand, watches them crapping around with cockpit switches in a goddamn spaceship, and logically assumes, well shit, interactive demo, it's practically already fucking here, I better get it on the ground floor of this phenomenon. And sadly, in all too many cases, the game he played on screen will never actually arrive. Actually, fuck that, confirmedly so, as a veritable wheel of fortune of fucking design missteps has mandated they move to an entirely different game engine, resulting in a complete change of technology, apocalyptic staff turnover for key positions, mind you, and a veritable font of feature creep. Folks, How could it be the game originally pitched? I mean, consider the Kickstarter we were sold to begin with. An open universe space fighter MMO with a single player campaign pinned on top. Cut, print, pitch, fucking over. Crossfade to 2018, we got a racing module, a persistent universe module, the worst FPS this side of paintball night at the Pulse nightclub module. Hell, the only module we don't have is the actual goddamn game module. And therein lie the accusations of predatory salescraft, of starships and snake oil. And personally, to this, I take fucking offense. The difference between Chris Roberts and a snake oil salesman is a snake oil salesman actually possesses fucking snake oil. Chris Roberts sells you a JPEG and a promise. What far too few acknowledge, even among Star Citizen's rapidly proliferating pool of detractors, is that after the initial Kickstarter storm, wherein roughly a half dozen fuckwad fighters were doled out as incentive to sign over your house deed, thereafter, that number ballooned like Roberts without a goddamn girdle, to the point that as I sit here in 2018, I scarcely possess the ability to list off the infinite number of variants and individual models of fully fucking fictitious spacecraft, several of which were priced well into the thousands. Thousands! Over half of which, might I add, remain either MIA or present solely as an in-game glorified fucking statue. Fuck, as a callow marketing maneuver, CIG held a televised reality show contest to design a ship, and you still can't fly the fucking thing! Hey, Hacksax in the YouTube gaming community. Yes, you, the guy with the green screen and the loot box sponsorship who could recite the phrase, "Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe," in a fucking coma. Yeah, you shit dick! Maybe, just maybe, between shrieking at the government to regulate your loot boxes and impelling your audience to bend over for a Belgian butt fucking, you could, oh, I don't know, turn your gaze to a game that was teased in 2012, hasn't delivered more than a third of its overall runtime, that couldn't hit the frame rate of a flipbook under a fucking strobe light if it was running on the Bat computer, that's refused refunds for half a fucking year, yet continues to court donations in the multiples of thousands for a game that to date has the corporeal essence of Casper. Today's video is brought to you by Selective Outrage, being cranky for clicks since 2012, patreon.com/boughtoutbitch. Granted, between all the unboxing bullshit, some of these shitbags are actually beginning to discuss Star Citizen, now that you can see the financial crater from fucking space. But when you have former backers like Blinky ATX, highly recommend his channel, who shit literal thousands into this dumpster fire, doing an honest-to-goodness ongoing series on its myriad issues with mismanagement and perpetual fucking fundraisers, carving the shit in twain to fund the fucking second half with the profits from the first? Anyone old enough to remember when we all shrieked at Tim Schafer for doing the exact same thing with Broken Age? You shills should have been on that like Chris Roberts on a salt and pepper toupee. All this said, I still, believe it or not, stand by my previous statement that I want the game to succeed. As I said in a previous video, Star Citizen can officially no longer succeed or fail in a fucking vacuum. If it turns into the 200 mil motherfucking catastrophe it appears to be at present, it's entirely possible it takes the whole crowd-funded gaming phenomenon with it. And without that, we don't get Kingdom Come Deliverance or Battletech, two of my top games of 2018. I'll even say the single-player game, Squadron 42, has promise, due largely to the fact that it's significantly less ambitious. But even to the most ardent devotees, it's beginning to feel like I'm rooting for a cockroach trying to clamber its ass out of an actively flushing toilet. Money may float, my friends, but don't confuse it with a fucking life raft. I'm Razor Fist. See you in the verse, Commandos.
Episode 1 is what people will play this year, and that's the one that has the equivalent of 70 Wing Commander style missions.
It's all bullshit.
Who's laughing now?